let's get into the business side of things. So Brant, you started more on the single family development side, flipping, rehabbing. Now you're transitioning more to the development side. So will you elaborate a little bit more about that? What is the difference between rehabbing versus the development side?
Yeah. So been doing single family since 2007. Have done hundreds of deals over the years, and I've always I'm very, very conservative, right? And I like, from the outside, people may think I'm this big, great risk taker, but I'm really not, right? So I've done all these hundreds of homes, but they're really 80-90% of what I've done, past 15 years has been, single family homes, the bread and butter, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-car garage, suburbs, medium price housing and below. And so that's what I've done, and it's been really good to me, and I've had opportunities to go into bigger deals and apartments and stuff like that. And my whole business is funded with private lenders on the front side, and we have long-term financing with banks. But I'm like, if I get one of these big deals that goes sideways, I don't know if I could live with myself if I couldn't make things right. So I've always been able to fix things even when I lose money and make things good. But some things started happening. As one, personal growth, and then number two, several years ago, going back 3, 4, 5 years, we've just been in a market where it's just more and more and more saturated by investors, and fewer and fewer and fewer houses. Like, we were playing around on HAR yesterday. Every time we zoned an area, it's like whoosh, yellow. All red. It's like red and like a couple of greens and like a couple of yellows. It's like there's very little inventory now, right?
There's under 14,000, I think, active.
It's insane. So that problem that I'm speaking of today, I started seeing it a few years ago, and so I'm like, I need to make some changes in my business, right? Because things are changing, and you gotta have some foresight with your business, or else you're going to be blindsided, right? Like, oh, how did this happen? It's like, well, it started happening 5 years ago. So that's when I started really saying, maybe what I'm doing, everything that we've, like Curtis and I have learned and done in real estate, everything works. It doesn't work all the time, right? The market is cyclical. So we're different stages of the market. And so a few years ago, I started really seeing, man, there's not only a problem here in Houston, there's a problem globally, really, but in our country, of a problem with affordable housing. And so, I believe that entrepreneurs who get awarded the most are the ones who solve the biggest problems. So several years ago, I started looking into mobile homes, solutions for manufactured housing, doing owner financing and stuff like that. And I really just got to a point in my business where, I have built out a team. I've got everybody at my office who does most of everything on the single family. I'm like, I got to do something bigger. I got to get into opportunities that are scalable. And basically, that's why I kind of went down the path of manufactured housing, to where we can do, instead of buying 5 houses in a month that are here, I can go buy a mobile home park that has 50 houses all at once, or we can do a development that has 150 houses that we're developing, and solve a whole lot of problems, help a lot of people become homeowners, work more of my lenders into the deals versus having them wait for all the single family stuff. So that was really, for me, it came out of necessity. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do.
It was seeing the market and knowing where to take it. What are some of the challenges that you faced in the development side?
The development side of things, it's much more complicated, honestly, than just buying a single family house and fixing up, putting a renter in there. That's something that pretty much everyone can and should be doing if you're not. The development side, you really have to you have to dive deep into not only just your numbers today, what your numbers could look like tomorrow, what is the market, what are unforeseen risks, all this type of stuff. You've got to become like an expert to the nth degree on everything that project entails, not only for yourself, but for your investors, right, and for the whole project. So I'm, working on like projects right now, developments right now, and it's really just kind of stretched me, so to speak, to look at, like I said, everything and figure out, hey, this is the game plan, but also what may be the plan B. And I think there's a video showing her like, don't worry about plan B. I still look and plan for plan B and plan C just in case. Other challenges that we have is the financing side of things. Financing a single family flip is not the same as financing a $10 or $13 million development, right? Selling or renting one house or 5 houses a month is not the same as doing, 50 or 60 in a year at one location. So,
which side have you been more fascinated with? Do you enjoy the development side more, or do you enjoy more the single family rehab side?
Used to be, so the single family was my comfort zone. I started like Curtis too. I was watching Armando Montalongo and these guys back in the day.
Remember him?
He likes to sue people, so I don't even say his name. I just say two Mexican guys from San Antonio.
Dude,
I mean, that hits like a ton of them.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, I had the Armando Montalongo poster on my wall, and I was like, oh God, I want to be like this guy.
That was in his master bedroom.
That's a
on his
joke.
ceiling,
That's a
above
joke,
his bed.
everybody. That's a joke. It was next to my Curtis Warden poster, okay, to full disclosure.
I was in the pink shorts too. He still has that one today.
It's autographed. It's autographed, I'm just saying.
So it's been natural progression for you.
Yeah, so I got out of my comfort zone. I got into single family, and I was afraid to get out of my comfort zone. Right?
Yep.
And so I started researching and data, and my students, I tell them, if the numbers work, like this is our formula, if these numbers work and you don't do the deal, you need to go look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're really a real estate entrepreneur.
Right.
So I was looking at these deals and I'm like, the numbers work, oh no, I'm too afraid to do that. And so I did that one too many times, and I had to look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, damn it, Brant, like what are you doing here?
Get it together.
You're not practicing what you're preaching. So I did enough data, research, and I'm like, I'm a fool if I don't give this a try. So I just went all in a couple years ago with that side of the business. So we've bought 4 parks. We're working on a couple of development deals now, and so now I can say I enjoy the development side more than that.
It was a little bit of a transition.
Yeah. So now with single family, what I enjoy the most is I've hired a COO for my company. I enjoy teaching them what to do and not doing it.
Amazing.
And I'm like, no, get your laptop and you start doing this, because I'm going to show you what to do, and I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to go do these other things. So that's what I enjoy now on single family.
Very, very good story.